Om Sri Sai Ram. In the previous session, we have studied about equation of a line in vector form as well as in Cartesian form. We have studied equation of line in two different ways. In the first, he has given that the line is passing through a point and it is parallel to a vector, parallel to another line. Whereas in the second case, he has given that the line is passing through 2 points. Both Cartesian form as well as vector form, we have derived it. So, we will have a quick glance of that and then proceed further. Equation of a line through a given point A and parallel to a given vector B is R equal to A plus lambda B. This we have derived in the previous session. Same thing if you have to write in Cartesian form, what do? We change the vectors into component form. R becomes xi plus yj plus zk, A becomes a1i plus b1, a2j plus a3k, B becomes lambda I plus lambda I plus mj plus nk. So, accordingly it changes. So, this is the Cartesian form. Here A, B, C are called direction ratios. Instead of direction ratios, you can also use direction cosines LMN. So, in that case it will become x minus x1 by L, y minus y1 by M, z minus z1 by N. A, B, C are called direction ratios, LMN are called direction cosines, and we also studied the relation between them. Whereas, in the second one, he says that the line is passing through 2 points whose position vectors are A and B. So, what happens? What is the change takes place? Instead of R equal to A plus lambda B, there B was another line to which this line is parallel. Instead of that, you get B minus A, where A and B are the position vectors of 2 points. Whereas in Cartesian form, if you write, this becomes x minus x1, y minus y1, z minus z1 as it is. We also studied that if you know 2 points, you can write the direction ratios of that line segment. So, x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1 are the direction ratios. Here we move on to how to find angle between two lines. Equations of two lines are given. What is the general equation of line? R equal to A plus lambda B. Suppose there are two lines, we will take them as R equal to A1 plus lambda B1, R equal to A2 plus lambda B2. So, what we are trying to say, let us say this is L1 and this is L2, this is the angle between them. So, if you know the lines, you know their inclinations or you know the direction ratios. Here he has given direction ratios. He says A1, B1, C1 are the direction ratios of first line, A2, B2, C2 are the direction ratios of second line. Recollect the formula we have already derived when we studied in vectors. Cos theta is equal to A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 upon under root of A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square under root of A2 square plus B2 square plus C2 square. Whereas, if he gives the direction cosines, then it becomes very simple because A1 by A2 by this whole thing is nothing but L1 L2. Similarly, B1 by B2 by this whole thing is nothing but M1 M2. C1 C2 by this whole thing will become N1 N2. So, in that case the angle is L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. Now, some special cases. What are the special cases? Once again he repeats, what he says is, if two lines are perpendicular, what will happen if two lines are perpendicular? Theta is going to be 90 degrees. So, you are going to get cos 90 is 0. So, in that case, what will happen? Cos theta equal to L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. if you know the direction cosines of both the lines. L1, M1, N1 are direction cosines of first line. L2, M2, N2 are direction cosines of second line. So, the angle between them is cos theta equal to this. Okay. Now, if lines are perpendicular, what happens? Cos 90 becomes 0. As a result, what you will get? L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 equal to 0. Whereas, if direction ratios are given, just go back to the formula which we have found, cos theta equal to this. If cos theta becomes 90, cos 90 becomes 0, this whole thing can be brought here, it will become 0, and as a result, you will get A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 equal to 0. If two lines are perpendicular, then L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 equal to 0, or A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 equal to 0. What happens if lines are parallel? We said that we can, if two vectors are parallel, what happens? You can express one as scalar product of the other. So, here what happens? A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2 equal to C1 by C2. Now, we come to the actual formula of angle between two lines. What are the two lines? R1, R equal to A1 plus lambda B1. Second is R equal to A2 plus mu B2. What is this A1? A1 is a point through which first line is passing. What is A2? A2 is a point through which second line is passing. What is this B1? B1 is a line which is parallel to first line. What is B2? B2 is another line which is parallel to second line. So, what we are trying to tell actually is, if we want to find out the angle between two lines, let us say this is one line and this is one line. Let us say this is L1 and this is L2. We want to find the angle between them. We are trying to tell that instead of finding angle between the lines, find the angle between those lines to which they are parallel. For example, L1 is parallel to B1. Similarly, L2 is parallel to B2, parallel to this. So, he says if we are able to find the angle between these two, it is going to be the same between the lines. Because first line is parallel to a vector B1, second line is parallel to another vector B2. If you know the angle between B1, B2, it is going to be the same between line L1 and L2. That is why we have used B1 and B2. Yes, suppose they are given in Cartesian form. You know Cartesian form, equation can be written in two ways. One by using direction ratios, another by using direction cosines. Okay. So, here direction ratios are used, x minus x1 by a1, y minus y1 by b1, z minus z1 by c1. What are these x1, y1, z1 are? They are the coordinates of a point through which first line is passing. What are a1, b1, c1? They are the direction ratios of a line to which the line is parallel. Similarly, x2, y2, z2 are the coordinates of a point through which second line is passing, and a2, b2, c2 are the direction ratios of a line to which second line is parallel. Okay. So, if this is what he has given, we can say that a1, b1, c1 and a2, b2, c2 are the direction ratios of first and second line, and we already know this formula. We have derived this formula. Now, we come to very important concept, and this particular concept, in order to understand it, you require real visualization. We have already learnt, suppose in a plane there are two lines. So, the lines can be such that they meet each other. What do you call them? Intersecting lines. It may happen that they are not meeting and they are like this. What do you call them? We say they are parallel. Third possibility is that they coincide each other. But all this is possible when they are in the same plane. Now visualize that there are two lines in two different planes. Please observe this diagram very carefully. Assume that this is a room in which you are living right now. Okay, and let us say this is the width of the room, this is the length of the room, this is height of the room. We are assuming that this width is 1 unit, this length is 2 units and height is 3 units. Observe and visualize both. Visualize that you draw a diagonal from one corner to the other corner of the roof. This is the diagonal which he has drawn in the roof, because the base of this is OABC and the roof is DEFG. On the roof he has drawn GE. So that is one diagonal. Then there is one more diagonal which is drawn on one wall. Just wherever you are sitting in your room, visualize that you have drawn a diagonal from one corner to another corner. That is one line. And on one of the walls, wherever you are sitting, you have drawn one more line. So this is the line which he has drawn in the front side. You can say ABEF is the one of the walls. On the wall he has drawn. Now try to visualize where they will meet. Visualize that you have drawn two lines. One you have drawn on the roof from one corner to another corner, and on one of the walls you have drawn a diagonal. Will they meet each other? If they meet, where they will meet each other? If you actually draw it and try to find out, you will find that they cannot meet each other. There are two lines in two different planes. One line is on the roof, because roof is also a plane just like floor. Another line is drawn on one of the walls. Wall is also a plane. So these two lines, they are not in the same plane. Since they are not in the same plane, they will not intersect each other. They will not be parallel to each other. Such lines are called skew lines. So what is the definition of skew lines? Two lines which are in two different planes, neither parallel nor intersecting. Okay? There is a possibility that in one way if you draw, they may be parallel, but certainly if they are parallel, certainly they have to be in the same plane. Okay? So skew lines, they lie in two different planes. As a result, they don't meet each other. They are not parallel to each other. So that's what he has tried to explain. He says, for example, let us consider the room of size 1, 3, 2 units along x, y and z axis respectively. He is taking length as 1 unit, width as 2, height as 3, something like that, doesn't matter. But what is more important to understand is this particular line is drawn on the roof. This particular line is drawn on the wall, front wall, one front wall you can take. Okay, so they cannot meet each other, and as a result we call them skew lines. That's what he has explained. Now the question is how to find the distance between them. And this is one of the very important topic to be studied in lines. Yes. So we are going to study about the distance between two skew lines. Once again, what are skew lines? Lines which lie in two different planes. As a result, they do not intersect each other. They are not parallel to each other. We want to find out the distance between such lines. And we want to find out shortest distance between them, not some distance. Okay? Yes. Now let us see how this formula is derived. We have two lines. So write their equations. Let us say R is equal to A1 plus lambda B1. Second equation, R equal to A2 plus lambda B2. What are these A1 and A2 are? A1 and A2 are the points through which first and second line are passing. What are B1 and B2 are? B1 and B2 are lines to which the first and second line are parallel. First line is parallel to B1, second line is parallel to B2. B1 and B2, mind you, they are vectors. Go back to vectors. You studied it in vector product, that when you take vector product between two vectors, then the cross product gives you a third vector which is perpendicular to both. Suppose B1 and B2 are two vectors, B1 cross B2 is a third vector which is perpendicular to both. How did we understand this concept? It is something like, towards x-axis we have a unit vector I, towards y-axis we have a unit vector j, and towards z-axis we have a unit vector k. So when you take I cross k, the answer is, when you do I cross j, the answer is k. K is perpendicular to both x and y axis. That concept is used here. Now let us see how it is used. First of all, let us say this is one line, you can call it L1, and let us say this is one more line, you can call it let us say the first line is passing through a point, anything you can take, let us say A, let us say second line is passing through a point B. Means what? We are assuming that the position vector is A1, here the position vector is A2. First line is passing through A1, second line is passing through A2. Okay. Now, if you join these 2 points, you get a distance between the lines. But this distance will not be shortest distance. What is the shortest distance? Now let us say, for example, you have drawn one line here, one line here. If you simply join any 2 points, this we are talking about in the same plane, whereas those two are in 2 different planes. Okay, these 2 lines are in the same plane. So if you extend them back, they will meet each other. And what do you call them? Parallel, intersecting lines. Now imagine we have 2 parallel lines. How do you find distance between them? How do you find distance between parallel lines? It is not distance between any 2 points. We have to take the shortest distance between them. So what we do, we take a point, from there we draw a perpendicular. This distance is the shortest distance. In the same manner, now visualize that this line has a point A whose position vector is A1, and this is another point B of the second line. So if you join AB, you have a distance between the lines, but this particular distance is not shortest distance. Then what is the shortest distance? Shortest distance is always perpendicular distance. Now the question is, we have to think about a vector which is perpendicular to L1 as well as L2. If they are in the same plane, you can simply take a point and draw perpendicular. But remember, this L1 and L2 are not in the same plane. Since they are not in the same plane, we draw a line here, let us say PQ. In such a way that it is perpendicular to both. Again, you may say, sir, this is not perpendicular, this is acute angle. No. You have to imagine in a space. When you imagine in a space, you automatically find that this is also 90 degrees. So PQ is a third vector which is perpendicular to L1 and L2. This particular equation had this vector B1, this had the vector B2 to which the first and second lines were parallel. So B1 cross B2 is a third vector which is perpendicular to both. Since it is going to be perpendicular to both, that particular distance we have to take. We cannot take any distance. So what is that we are trying to do? We are trying to say that AB is one vector, PQ is another vector. We are trying to take AB inclined to PQ, how much it is. In other words, we can say the projection of AB on PQ. How do you find projection of a vector over the other vector? Let us say A is one vector and B is another vector. So how do you find projection of A? How do you find? It is A dot B by modulus of B. This gives you projection of one vector over the other. Remember, we are talking about different things. We will be using all of them in order to derive the formula. Here is vector PQ, you can call it unit vector n. What kind of unit vector it is? It is a unit vector which is perpendicular to B1 as well as B2. It is a unit vector perpendicular to B1 and B2. In other terms, it is B1 cross B2. Okay. So now, let us derive the formula. Yes. So we can say that vector AB is very simply, we can say A2 minus A1. What is PQ? We can say vector PQ equal to, let us assume that the shortest distance is D. So we can say it is dn. Now, what is the projection of AB on PQ? Projection of AB on PQ. Once again, go back to the projection. You have studied projection of one vector over the other. Let us say OA is one vector, OB is another vector. So how do you find projection of OA over OB? What we do, we draw a perpendicular. Let us say this is M. So what is projection of OA over OM? Suppose this is A, this is B. We are trying to find out projection of A on B, which is equal to A dot B by B. In other words, it is A B cos theta by B. Both B will get cancelled, you get A cos theta. What is A cos theta? It is OM. Similarly, projection of AB on PQ will be OM. OM is nothing but PQ, which is equal to, instead of OA, what we have? AB. Why AB cos theta? If you wish, you can find out and you get the same answer. See, how do you find out this particular thing? Projection of projection of AB on PQ. What is the formula? Projection of AB on PQ is AB dot PQ by PQ. What is AB dot PQ? It is AB length into PQ length into cos theta by PQ. So what happened? This PQ get cancelled, you get AB cos theta. That's what we wrote. That's what we have written directly. So PQ is equal to AB cos theta, and this PQ is also equal to D unit vector n. Now what is the unit vector n? Tell me. What is the unit vector n? Unit vector n is a vector which is perpendicular to both. Correct? So how do you find out unit vector n? We can say it is now how do you find this cos theta? How do you find this cos theta? Cos theta formula, cos theta, just now we have discussed the angle between two lines. What is the formula? B1 dot B2 by B1 B2. So what are the vectors? The vectors are B1 cross B2, B1 cross B2. Substitute these values in this. So you will get, what do you get? This is dn, okay. Hence, we can say PQ is equal to AB. What is AB? A2 minus A1. Okay. Into cos theta. What is cos theta? This is the one which we got. B1 cross B2 by modulus of B1 cross B2. Now what is this PQ? PQ is nothing but the distance D. So if you simplify this, you get the shortest distance. What is the shortest distance? A2 minus A1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by modulus of B1 cross B2. This is called shortest distance formula. Formula is very straightforward because he has given the lines A1 and A2 are nothing but the vectors or the points whose position vectors are A1 and A2. B1 and B2 are the vectors to which these lines are parallel. So if you know A1, if you know A2, if you know B1, if you know B2, you don't need to derive anything. You can simply apply this formula and get. Since the distance is always going to be positive, you can say modulus. So in this particular manner, we can derive this formula. Now if instead of vector equations, suppose Cartesian equations are given. This is the Cartesian equation of first line, this is for the second line. Means what? The first line is passing through a point whose coordinates are x1, y1, z1. Second line is passing through a point x2, y2, z2. Direction ratios of first line are a1, b1, c1. Direction ratios of second line are a2, b2, c2. So this is the formula. What is this actually? It is nothing but a2 minus a1, which you got in the previous one, a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2, scalar triple product. Whereas what is the denominator? Denominator is nothing but modulus of b1 cross b2, that's all. Now, till now we are been discussing about finding out the distance between two skew lines. Suppose the lines are parallel, means what? They are in the same plane. If they are in the same plane, both will be parallel to same line. So instead of b1 and b2, the equations are going to be R equal to A1 plus lambda B, R equal to A2 plus mu B. This B is going to be same because both the lines are in the same plane. Okay, and first line is passing through A1, second is passing through A2. Small change in the formula. Instead of B1 cross B2, it is just B and you get the formula. What is the formula you derive? B cross A2 minus A1 means A2 minus A1 remains as it is. Okay. Then instead of B1 cross B2, we take B cross, and similarly in denominator, it is modulus of B. Okay. If parallel lines are given, by using this formula, you can find out the distance between them. Now we come to exercise problems. So let us solve these problems. What he says, show that the three lines with direction cosines are mutually perpendicular. What do you mean by mutually perpendicular? They are perpendicular to each other. Means first one is perpendicular to second, second is perpendicular to third, third is perpendicular to first. We will do one of them, other two you can do it. Okay. So what is that he has given? Direction cosines. So for the first problem, what he has given are L1, M1, N1. You can write it actually. This is L1, M1, N1. This is L2, M2, N2. This is L3, M3, N3. Now go back. We have studied that if two lines are perpendicular, if direction ratios are given, then what happens? L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 equal to 0. If direction ratios are given, A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 equal to 0. You can use that. Okay. If first two lines are perpendicular, then what happens? L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 should be equal to 0. We do not know, we have to find out. So take left hand side and substitute the values. L1 12 by 13, L2 4 by 13 plus M1 minus 3 by 13, M2 12 by 13, N1 minus 4 by 13 into N2. N2 is 3 by 13. Simplify it. You can see that the denominator is 169. 13 into 13. Look at the numerator. 12 fours are 48 minus 36 minus 12 equal to 0. 0 by 169 equal to 0. That's what we told. If L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 equal to 0, they are perpendicular. So first and second we proved perpendicular. Same way you proved second and third perpendicular. Same way you prove first and third perpendicular. Okay. Now come to the second problem. He says, show that the line through these 2 points is perpendicular to line through these 2 points. If a line is passing through 2 points, you can write its direction ratios. You can assume them as, let us say this is the point A, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Since you know the coordinates of A, B, write the direction ratios of AB. What are the direction ratios formula? Very simple. X2 minus X1, Y2 minus Y1, Z2 minus Z1. So substitute in this. So what do you get? X2 minus X1. This is X1, Y1, Z1. This is X2, Y2, Z2. For your understanding, if you want, you can write X1, Y1, Z1, X2, Y2, Z2. So X2 minus X1, 3 minus 1, 2, comma, Y2 minus Y1, 4 plus 1, 5, then minus 2 minus 2, minus 4. These are the direction ratios of AB. In the same manner, write the direction ratios of CD. In that case, this is the first point, this is the second point. So 3 minus 0, 3, 5 minus 3 is 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. Means what? You know A1, B1, C1, you also know A2, B2, C2. This is like A1, B1, C1, this is like A2, B2, C2. What is that he is asking? He says, show that line through these two is perpendicular to this. If these two lines are perpendicular, what happens? If lines are perpendicular, then A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 equal to 0. So first substitute, you already found out. See, this is like A1, B1, C1. This is like A2, B2, C2. So A1, A2, 2 into 3, 6 plus B1, B2, 5 into 2, 10 plus C1, C2, minus 4 into 4, minus 16. 10 plus 6, 16 minus 16 is equal to 0. Hence, they are perpendicular. So, previous problem we have solved by saying L1, L2 plus M1, M2 plus N1, N2 equal to 0. This problem we have solved by using A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 equal to 0. Let us move to the next third problem. Show that the line through these 2 points is parallel to this. In the previous problem, we have proved that they are perpendicular. Now it is saying prove that they are parallel. All said and done, if the line is passing through 2 points, you know the direction ratios of that. So what are the direction? Let us say this is again A, let us say this is B, let us say this is C and this is D. So write direction ratios of AB. Formula is same, x2 minus x1, we don't need to keep writing. Or if you want, you can write x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. Substitute. What is x2? 2 minus 4, 3 minus 7 and 4 minus 8. Simplify. You get minus 2, comma, minus 4, comma, minus 4. So these are the direction ratios of AB. Once again you check. It should not happen that we have got it for the other. x2 minus x1, 2 minus 4, 3 minus 7 and 4 minus 8. Correct. Similarly, write direction ratios of CD. Formula is same. This is C, this is D. So what you will get? 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 5 minus 1. So what you are getting as a result? 2, 4 and 4. These are the direction ratios of first line. These are the direction ratios of second line. This is something like this. This is A1, B1, C1. This is like A2, B2, C2. Now come to the actual problem. He says prove that both are parallel. If you know the direction ratios of 2 lines and if they are A1, B1, C1 and A2, B2, C2, we say they are parallel if A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2 equal to C1 by C2. So find out what is A1 by B1. A1 is what? Minus 2. What is A2? 2. Answer is minus 1. Find out what is B1 by B2. How much is B1? Minus 4. B2 is 4. So minus 4 by 4 equal to minus 1. Find out C1 by C2. How much is C1? Minus 4. C2 is 4. So minus 4 by 4 equal to minus. Since A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2 equal to C1 by C2, both are all are equal to minus 1. So lines are parallel. So problems are quite simple if you know formula. So you have to learn the formulae in order to solve these problems. Let us move to the next two problems. Read the question. Find the equation of a line in vector and Cartesian form that passes through the point whose position vector is this and in the direction of the other. Problem number 5. Line passing through a point A and parallel to a vector B is given by this. What we derived, first equation of line is given by R equal to A plus lambda B. Same thing in Cartesian form, line passing through a point. What is the point? X1, Y1, Z1 and parallel to a line with direction ratios A1, ABC, not A1, ABC is given by x minus x1 upon A equal to y minus y1 upon B equal to z minus z1 upon C. Remember, ABC can be substituted by LMN also. Okay. Now substitute the values. In this particular problem, he says find the equation of a line in vector form which passes through the point. So what is this point? This point is nothing but A. So here A is equal to 2 minus 1, 4. And then what is the other one? It is nothing but B. What is B? 1, 2 minus 1. So substitute A and B in the equation, you will get the vector equation. Hence, we can say R is equal to A, that is 2i minus j plus 4k. This is A plus lambda B. How much is B? Substitute I plus 2j minus k. You don't need to find the value of lambda. This itself is the answer. In the same manner, substitute in that x minus x1. What are the points? What are the points? It is passing through 2i minus j plus 4k. Or this itself can be converted into that form. How do you convert it? Recollect the way we have derived. R basically means xi plus yj plus zk. Okay, R basically means it. And get this side. So this minus 2i minus j plus 4k equal to lambda times this. This difference equal to that. How to convert into Cartesian form? By equating the coefficients of x, y, z. What is the coefficient of, by equating the coefficients of ijk. So what are the coefficients of ijk? Here it is xi minus 2i. So it will become x minus 2. Here it is coefficient of other side, what it is? 1. So x minus 2 by 1 equal to yj minus of minus, it will become plus. Okay. So it will become y plus 1. Here the coefficient is 2, actually 2 lambda, finally we will put it. Similarly z minus 4, and in the other side it is minus 1, all this is equal to lambda. So this is the answer. That is the Cartesian equation and this is the vector equation. So this is the solution for the problem number 5. Now let us do the sixth one. Find the Cartesian equation of a line which passes through this point and parallel to a given line. It is passing through the point. So directly apply the formula. Problem number 6. Point is minus 2, 4, minus 5. This is the point. And he says the line is parallel to this. If two lines are parallel, what happens? Their direction ratios or direction cosines are same. So we can say point is this and line is parallel to a line with direction cosines 3, 5, 6. So what is the answer? Directly you can write the answer is x minus x1 by L equal to y minus y1 by M equal to z minus z1 by N. Substitute the values. X minus x1. What is x1? Minus 2. So it will become x plus 2 upon L. L is 3 equal to y minus 4 by 5 equal to z plus 5 by 6. If you want, you can write equal to lambda. This is the answer. How do you know they are parallel? Because the direction cosines of first line are 3, 5, 6. Direction cosines of second line are also 3, 5, 6. First one is passing through a point minus 3, 4, minus 8. Second line is passing through a point minus 2, 4 and minus 5. We will move on. We come to the last two problems for this session. He says the Cartesian equation is given. Write its vector form. In the previous form problem, what we did? We changed vector into Cartesian. Now opposite. So we can say problem number 7. Line is passing through. What is the point? Passing through 5, because it is x minus x1. Minus x1 is minus 5. So x1 is 5. Y minus y1. Minus y1 is 4. So it is minus 4. Then it is 6. Line is passing through this. So we found the point. So we can say that hence the vector A can be written as 5i minus 4j plus 6k. What else you require? You require a vector which is parallel. And he has given that if this is the equation of line, we know that 3, 7, 2 are the direction cosines. Okay? As direction cosines are 3, 5, 7. So the line is parallel to a vector B. What is that vector B? B is equal to 3i plus 5j plus 7k. So you know the vector A, you know the vector B. Now write the equation of line in vector form. So equation of line what is the actual formula? R is equal to A plus lambda B. You know A, you know B, substitute. Hence, R is equal to A. A is this 5 minus 4, 6. Plus lambda B, plus lambda into B. B is what? 3, 5, 7. This is the answer. This is the answer. He has given in Cartesian form, we have converted into vector form. Come to the last problem for today. Now he says find the vector and Cartesian equation of a line which is passing through origin and this point. Indirectly, equation of a line through 2 points. Problem number 8, you can call this as A, other is origin, you can say O. Line is passing through origin. What are the coordinates of origin? 0, 0, 0 and A. What are the coordinates? 5, minus 2, 3. Origin you can call it actually O, let us say, okay. So, direction ratios of OA are what we are actually trying to use? We are trying to use 2-point form, okay. So, maybe you can write the formula first and then write the formula first. Equation of a line through 2 points. How do you write equation of a line through 2 points? The formula is x minus x1. What did he ask? He asked write the vector and Cartesian both. Okay, so both we will first write formulae. Equation of a line through 2 points, vector form. Vector form is R equal to A plus lambda into B minus A. Whereas Cartesian form is x minus x1 by x2 minus x1 equal to y minus y1 by y2 minus y1 equal to z minus z1 by z2 minus z1. We have to substitute in that. What is the first one? Line is passing through 2 points whose position vectors are A and B. So this is like A and this is like B. So substitute in this. Hence R is equal to A. A is nothing but 0i, 0j, 0k because it is origin. A plus lambda B minus A. Once again B minus A, when you do, you get 5i minus 2j plus 3k. You can leave it like this or you can remove it because it is after all 0. So you can say that R is equal to 5i minus 2j plus 3k. This is the vector equation. This is vector equation. Now come to Cartesian equation. Substitute in this. What are x1, y1, z1? 0, 0, 0. What are x2, y2, z2? 5 minus 2, 3. So substitute in this. You get x minus 0 upon 5 minus 0 y minus y1, y minus 0 upon y2 minus y1, minus 2 minus 0, z minus 0 upon 3 minus 0. Simplify it, you get the answer. So, answer is x by 5 equal to y by minus 2 equal to z by 3. This is the Cartesian equation and this is the vector equation. So, in this particular way, we are able to find equation of a line in Cartesian form and vector form when it is passing through 2 points. So, with this we come to a close of this particular session, and remaining problems of the exercise we will take up in the next session. But what is important is learn the formulae. All the formulae which we have discussed till now, equation of a line in vector form, Cartesian form, passing through 2 points, vector form, Cartesian form, angle between two lines, if lines are parallel, if lines are perpendicular, if you know those formulae, you will find problems are very simple, because all problems are based upon formulae. So, if you are thorough with formulae, every problem you can solve. Okay? So, hoping that you will learn the formulae and also solve the solid examples before you come for the next session. Thank you, brothers. Sai Ram.